The world's population is increasing fast, and so there are many more mouths to feed. For this reason, there is a greater demand for land resources. Due to the high demand for land resources and the use of improper land practices, productivity of land is fast declining. The land therefore needs to be more productive and used in a more sustainable way for the sake of current and future generations. One way of managing land better is through the use of agroforestry. In agroforestry, trees and/or shrubs are intentionally planted as agricultural crops alongside other crops and/or livestock in the same land. It improves productivity and lessens the impacts of climate change. Existing trees can be protected and managed, or new ones planted. Agroforestry has three major characteristics: productivity, sustainability, and adaptability. In other words, agroforestry should maintain or increase production, that is, productivity, meet the needs of the present generation without compromising those of future ones, that is, sustainability, and be culturally acceptable and environmentally friendly, that is, adaptability. By practicing agroforestry, different profitable activities on the farm increase without interfering with revenue from already existing farmland. The effects of climate change are lessened because trees capture and absorb carbon dioxide and either use it for photosynthesis or store it in leaves, stems, branches, and roots. When trees are cut and forests destroyed, the carbon that is trapped is released into the atmosphere, and when it accumulates to above normal level, it raises the Earth's temperature. An increase in the Earth's temperature has many serious negative effects on the Earth's climate. Trees are part of our cultural heritage and may provide psychological peace. Economic benefits from the sales of fruits, nuts, and poles. It has several positive social impacts, such as better food and nutrition for communities, plant-based medicinal products, environmental impact including improved soil fertility, plus better crop and livestock productivity, acting as windbreakers, and for beauty. Question: how is the tree cover today in your area compared to 20 years ago? Has any tree species disappeared? Several agroforestry tree species are recommended. Some examples include Caliandra and Sesbania that are recommended for firewood, animal fodder, soil erosion control, and for soil fertility improvement. Caliandra is also suitable as a live fence. Cordia and Croton are good shade trees in cropland. Moringa is recommended for medicine and animal fodder. Grevillea is recommended for timber, as a windbreaker, and for poles. Acacia too is recommended for use as poles. Casuarina is also recommended as a windbreaker. Agroforestry systems. There are 5 common agroforestry systems: crops plus trees, livestock plus trees, crops plus livestock plus trees, insects plus trees, fish plus trees. Crops plus trees. Planting trees among crops can be done in a number of ways. 1. Alley cropping. That is the growing of annual crops or animal food between rows of trees or shrubs to form hedgerows. A hedgerow is a line of closely spaced shrubs and trees planted to form a barrier or a boundary. Another method of planting trees among crops is trees with perennial crops. Perennial crops are plants that live for 2 years, such as coffee, sugarcane, and tea. Because there is little replanting, there is only minimal disturbance to the soil improves as there is buildup of organic matter. Wind trees, also known as windbreaks, are planted to slow down wind speed. The trees should be of different heights and should be planted alongside bushes and grasses. Wind trees should not have gaps because wind can pass through the gaps, creating a destructive channel of high winds. Home gardens are tree fields with a variety of trees plus crops planted together. It is located either close to the homestead or nearby cropland. A shade tree system uses certain types of trees with good canopies to provide shade for livestock, for the compound and for delicate crops that are easily damaged by the sun. Examples of trees that can be used as shade trees are mango and acacia. Livestock plus trees. Trees with pastures or livestock can be established where the land can support the growth of both trees and animal feed, also called forage. The trees can be evenly distributed throughout the land to optimize space and light for both trees and forage, or grouped into rows to open up space for pasture and concentrate shade. Animals can be allowed to graze freely or zero grazed. Some trees can provide essential feeds and improve the diet of livestock, which, if well managed, can increase livestock productivity, for example, milk production, as a result of feeding on improved fodder. Trees with a mix of crops and livestock. Planting trees with a mix of crops and livestock is called mixed farming. The trees provide shade for crops and livestock and absorb carbon dioxide produced by the crops and livestock. The livestock provide manure for both the trees and the crops. The crops can provide compost and mulch. Trees and insects. Two common forms of trees and insects are beekeeping, also called apiculture, and silkworm keeping, also called sericulture. Apiculture is the rearing of bees for honey products, using trees for shade and bee forage. The benefits of beekeeping include hive products such as medicine from propolis, wax, honey, royal jelly and venom. It is important for pollination, which boosts plant production. It requires little capital. Few materials or inputs are needed. There are important factors to consider when deciding to take up beekeeping. 1. The presence of a permanent water supply. 2. The presence of trees for shade and forage such as caliandra, grevillea and mango. 3. An area free from noise, wind and pollution. Silkworms or sericulture. Sericulture is the production of raw silk fiber by rearing the larvae of domesticated silkworms. The silk is used for making clothes. Trees and water animals. It involves planting or maintaining belts of trees and shrubs in areas bordering lakes, streams, rivers and wetlands containing fish. For example, selected tree species are planted to interact with fish ponds. The trees provide leaves to feed the fish and manure for the pond.